Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. Another very special guest today, brought to you by our very own Tommy Ball. We have a former Texas pitcher and recently drafted to the Cardinals, Pete Hansen. How's it going, man?
How's it going? Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yo, what up?
Oak Ridge legend right here. Oak Ridge legend.
No, that's you, Tommy. Come on now.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I'm glad someone else knows. Mr. Trojan himself.
Yeah, all right. Pete was the dual sport king. Basketball times baseball. That's why he was mandatory to get on here.
Had me busy in the baseball off seasons for sure.
Yeah. Rolling Hills basketball legend, actually.
See, that's
a
school
crazy.
That one hits home for me.
Yeah.
That team really fried Luke's Folsom team.
Whoa.
Connor Jeffrey gave them 50 in a middle school game.
Whoa. Can we stop
Dude,
with the
that's
crazy
crap.
allegations? That didn't happen, first off. Second off, we battled to the final minute in the championship of that game. So, man.
You guys both Folsom Middle?
No, I'm not from Folsom.
Okay.
I'm from Bagville.
Yeah, I was a big time Jaguar though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Luke was before the Ackle and Bender rivalry days of Sutter. and Folsom.
Pete, you went against Ackle and Bender?
Oh my God! I mean, I tried. Ackle was him, man. I mean, it was actually ridiculous. You couldn't stop the guy.
I started training Ackle in third grade.
Oh, dude. I mean, props to you. You did something right with him. I mean, he did not miss a shot. It was absurd.
Well, he also was the size of a 17-year-old when he was in sixth grade. So
No, I mean, we couldn't stop him. We couldn't at all.
He was a force.
Yeah, that was great.
Acklepree, Nick Robards. Oof.
Oh,
Those are some shout outs right there.
Yeah. Pete, just great stuff. A little backstory with Pete. So Pete and I go way back. I want to say, when did we get introduced? Because so Pete was good friends with Drake, and then obviously Draco and I are like brothers. So that's where I was introduced to Pete, and we became good friends. I want to say it was late elementary school. And,
Yeah, probably around that time. Yeah.
And then shout out to the Oak Meadow Raptors. And then went into Rolling Hills, and then I was just always hanging around Drake and them. So I was the sixth grader rolling around with all the seventh graders, and in middle school I had a little friend group rolling. It was a great time. Pete, Drake, Luke, Augustine, Camo.
Pete, I just want to know what possessed you to make that friendship happen with young Draco. I can only imagine young Draco in his prime.
Oh, I mean, what Tommy's kind of getting at here is with Drake, he had a little backyard basketball kind of set up. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know me and Tommy and Drake we're always out there kind of throwing oops to each other and stuff like that. And it's probably some of the most competitive games I've been a part of. And
Absolutely.
Tommy was witness to a lot of that. But no, I mean, me and Drake pushed each other like crazy when we were younger, for sure.
Yeah, no. That I was getting at the backyard, the dunk ball. We would lower the rim to 7 feet so we could all just fucking go at it, playing 21 for hours at a time in that house.
But Tommy was the little brother we never had, which was like kind of cool to, like, me and Drake kind of never had that. So he was definitely like awesome to have around, and it's like basically we treat him like our little brother in any way you can imagine, you know.
Absolutely, I was bullied all the time, and that's fine.
That's like you got a tough skin now. Is what
Fair share.
I do. I needed it. I needed it bad.
Tommy.
I needed it. I needed it in the worst way, for sure. But yeah, and Pete was actually my neighbor, so I would watch his dog Scooby whenever they were going out of town.
Yeah.
So that was a good time. Shout out to Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen also taught my 8th grade history class half the year.
Oh man.
Really? I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah. When Mr. Kopp retired, Mr. Hansen took over. So yeah, the ties run deep. So Pete, I mean, we'll just kind of let you take over. It's just kind of the way we do it here is kind of give the platform to the guests, and you can kind of go ahead and just tell us about your story with baseball, and how, even throwing some basketball if you want, but how you were able to, what it took like as a pitcher to get to Texas, and just the work that goes into what it was and what your story was kind of like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it starts just loving sports. I think my whole life I've always played a bunch of different sports, and I think the two that really kind of stuck with me were basketball and baseball. And I played basketball up until I think my freshman year of high school, but I mean, I played with Tommy all the time, just playing pickup whenever we could. I mean, we were down at the sports complex, just
Oh, yeah.
trying to play pickup whenever possible, every night. And so I think there's always kind of the two sports that I love the most, and then obviously I kind of it was explained to me when I was like a freshman, probably in high school, it was kind of baseball is going to be your path. That's kind of where I had the most chance of kind of getting to the next level. And baseball's always been my favorite sport. I mean, I love basketball, I love playing it, but baseball's when you're really good at something. Not to brag on myself, but when you're really good at something, it's pretty fun to play. It's pretty fun to do that every single day. So I mean, I kind of
Hey,
started
this is the
really enjoying it
platform to brag.
in high school. No, 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 no. But and then I basically took baseball seriously my freshman year or after my freshman year. Quit basketball, stopped playing. Just played pickup still though, kind of in the off seasons. But really focused on baseball, and I think I made a really big jump. I mean, I always had the frame. That was always kind of my deal. So I got recruited starting my sophomore year, freshman summer going into sophomore year, and then eventually committed my junior year to Texas. But I mean, the summers are huge for travel baseball, likewise with travel basketball. So that was kind of my time to get recruited and get my name out there. And I played for like a national team called NorCal. It was just a bunch of NorCal guys. So got to be around a bunch of other talented guys. And one of the guys I played with in high school, he's with me on the Cardinals. He was in my draft class. So it's like
Yeah.
kind of cool to see that stuff come full circle, like kind of the boys you came up with. So um, that's kind of how I ended up at Texas with my recruiting. I mean, I always wanted to go there. It was always a dream of mine. And, I think there are some people in my life that told me I couldn't really go play at Texas just because they are that powerhouse. And, it was always kind of my dream to go there. So it was pretty cool to get that opportunity from the coaching staff to go out there and go to school there and play ball. So, I mean, that was a huge blessing.
And you're before you moved to EDH, your family's from Texas, right?
Yeah, so I was born in Texas, and like
Yep.
I remember probably 2005 was when I moved to California, to Sacramento, and we that was the Rose Bowl year when Vince Young beat USC, and I was just a huge Texas fan still, coming from Texas, and everyone was around me as a USC fan, so it was probably one of the greatest moments of my life was seeing Vince Young lead the Longhorns. So I mean, kind of instilled at an early age, it was go try to win a national championship for Texas.
Love it. You also mentioned the off-season basketball to keep you in shape. I'll just say it right now. Peter ran EDHYB when he retired from competitive basketball. He ran El Dorado Hills Youth Basketball Rec League for years at a time.
That was this winter of my senior year. I teamed up with my boy Joe and then this other kid I played baseball with, and we were all like 6'2", 6'3" seniors. We had three of us, and those other kids did not stand a damn chance. It was actually absurd. Like I was dunking and stuff, and like these kids were like not like they were just out there kind of because their parents made them, just out there to have fun, and we were just absolutely tearing that up. So everyone was like, "Why is this kid not playing for Oak Ridge? Like, what is going on?" But I was just out there having a ball. Tommy was actually at a lot of those games, so
Hell yeah.
he was witness.
I know, Luke. You definitely went to the FYBA games when your
Yeah.
boys would play. Now,
Yeah, I was there often.
Yeah,
They were high
they're
intensity
electric.
environments.
They're electric, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Just those are some of my favorite to watch because just all the people from your high school that just play basketball for fun. It gets seeing the people who don't usually play sports get so competitive is one of the most fun stuff. I
Dude,
remember.
it's the best. It's just like recess all over again.
Yeah, literally 100%. But one question I wanted to ask you, Pete. So like, obviously you're a pitcher. Like, what? Because I played baseball for 1 year in my life and wasn't very good at it. So like, what kind of work goes into becoming like with pitching just so elite at? Obviously, there's multiple different pitches and stuff you can throw, but like one specific like skill. Because like with basketball you play, you've got so many different things to work on. Like, what's the grind with pitching like?
Well, I mean, baseball in a nutshell it's all about the mental game. That's the huge piece that a lot of people don't see. Just that's how you kind of take your game to the next level, and that's kind of what separates you from a lot of people is the mental game. So that's something that I've kind of targeted my past couple years while I was at Texas. But I mean, it's a sport where you fail more than you succeed, and you're still the best in the world at what you do in that way. So it's like you're gonna fail a lot more than you're gonna succeed. So it's all about how you can basically learn from your failures and provide that into their next experiences pretty much. So, I mean, it's really unique in that way that baseball is, but I mean, it takes a toll on you for sure, but it's the mental toughness and like the preparedness and the confidence that goes into it. That I think that's what kind of separates good players from great players in that way. I mean, you can have all the physical traits and stuff like that, but when push comes to shove, it'll expose you.
Love that. I love that.
What do you think, Pete? What do you think the biggest difference, since we're talking about mental stuff, the biggest difference in mental approach between being a starter and a reliever? Like obviously at the
Yes,
high level.
yes. I mean, as a reliever, you kind of have the luxury of being able to go out there and just kind of pump and kind of once you get tired, then they pull you and you really can just leave it all out there for 3 outs, like 15, 20 pitches. So, I mean, it's a different game where that you kind of just get thrown in the fire every single day. You do that every day, but as a starter, it's the whole routine. It's the week process. It's kind of how you approach the start before and stuff like that, and how you learn from your start. So I like they're definitely two different pitching styles. Because one, you got to kind of come in and throw it by the guy, and I feel like as a starter, it's more of you face the lineup 3 times, so you kind of got to get crafty in that way. You got to mix up your pitches and kind of look what the hitters are doing and how they're kind of responding to what you threw them before, and it's stuff like that you really don't see, but that's kind of what a starter does versus a reliever.
Mental warfare.
Well,
I mean,
and
it's yeah, for sure.
correct me if I'm wrong, they'll like throw a reliever in for like one batter at a time if it's like a matchup thing. Like I guess that's probably not the right term, but that's the way I think of it for basketball. But like,
Oh yeah, no, it's matchup is the perfect word for it because it's all
yeah,
about like they'll bring me in to face a lefty bat just because his number. I mean, that's the other side of baseball. It's all about analytics. It's all about numbers. So it's like the coaches are looking at their pages the whole time, saying, "All right, this guy struggled against a lefty slider. Let's bring in a lefty slider against him." So that there's all these like changing parts, and every single move on the baseball field is like it's precise, and there's a reason behind it in that way. Like the strategy that they do. I mean, there's numbers to back it up in that way.
yeah, you kind of answered what I was going to ask because I was going to say, does that ever catch you off guard? But like, I'm sure you, like you said, if you know that a certain batter has like doesn't hit well against something that you throw, you probably anticipate getting thrown in for a situation like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something I kind of struggled with was, I mean, I'm just a competitor, so I like to go out there and, I don't usually shake signs or anything. Like I just like the coach to tell me what to throw and kind of I just want to execute my pitches. So that's something I've kind of had to learn over the years is kind of how to be smarter on the field in that way. But for me, I'm just all about there trying to execute pitches and, you know, just compete really at the end of the day. That's all I want to do.
Love it.
Do you have a preference as far as what you are more comfortable in as far as between starting and relieving? Like mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I like starting. I like the whole routine of it. It's fun kind of getting your meals down for the week and stuff and getting on that daily just routine of, what you're gonna do every day kind of thing. So I really enjoy that. And we say a lot, like everyone says, like enjoy the process, but it's true. You gotta love what you do and every day kind of put some stuff into it. So I mean, I love starting. I mean, I'll relieve too. I relieved a little bit in college my freshman year and a little bit sophomore and I don't think I did junior year, but I was mainly a starter my last 2 years. Hopefully, I'll be a starter. I mean, that's kind of the goal. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I
That's the
want
big time goal.
The new ace for St. Louis.
for sure.
Do you I know this is might be a little off base. You spent 4 years at Texas, yeah?
I was there for 3. My first year
Okay,
was the
3.
COVID year, 2020.
Oh, okay, got you.
He's a
Do
year older
ba
than me, Jared.
Okay, got it. Do baseball players? I know in basketball it's a big deal because you're able to like leave after 1 year. Do baseball players ever even think about stuff like that? I know you can, get drafted in high school and then like make that choice, but once you go, like you have to be there for 3 years. And like, is there ever like pushback in the baseball world? Because by next, I guess, next a year from, I guess, 2 years, like they're gonna let high school kids back into the NBA and things like that. So, is there ever like, do baseball players think about that in college or like push back on that?
I mean, I think a lot of college guys will leave after their junior year. I mean, that's like pretty standard in the baseball world. It's understandable, like with the fans and the coaches and stuff. I mean, obviously they'd love to have you back, but I mean, for me going to college, the draft really wasn't an option out of high school for me. And I have a lot of really good friends that went in the draft, and it's definitely a different path, but it's kind of weird because we're all kind of now at the same point where, I mean, they have 2 years or 3 years of minor league ball underneath their belts, and I have 3 years of college baseball. But now we're all kind of back at the same level, and we all kind of took different routes to get there. But I mean, I'm definitely happy that I went to college just because I got that experience, and I just talking about the routine, it kind of gave me a chance to, I mean, not having the pressure of being a professional and, being on your own when you're 18, it kind of gave me the chance to, make a few mistakes and, really get better over my 3 years I was there. I mean, just have all facilities we have and stuff too. It was insane.
Texas is crazy. I can't even imagine.
Oh man, it's the best athletic department in the country. No doubt about it.
I believe it. I believe it. So what was that? Obviously, your guys' Oak Ridge teams were really successful and loaded with talent. I mean, how many D1 guys did you have on that senior year team, by the way?
My senior year, I think it was just me and Slaughter. Or we had Tino below us. Yeah, Tino and Nate below us.
And they team and
Um,
eight.
Yeah. I mean, we no, and then I mean, so a little more backstory in my high school career, my sophomore year. So freshman year I played, this is why I quit basketball. My freshman year, I played freshman basketball. I missed tryouts because basketball and baseball overlap. So I got put on the freshman team. So I was like already kind of ticked off about that. And then sophomore year rolls around and I'm like, all right, I'm not playing basketball anymore. I'm going to focus on baseball. I'm going to make varsity. We were so stacked my sophomore year. They had like three D1 starters already. Like it was just a full pitching staff. And I got put on JV again to start my sophomore year. So I played JV for most of my sophomore year, and then I eventually got called up about like halfway through the season and pitched a little bit. But yeah, I played a little JV ball because we were so stacked. I mean, it was unbelievable. We got Trent Denholm, who's in an organization now, and Robert Gasser, who's also in an organization. Two studs, two great mentors I got to learn under while I was at Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they were the guys.
Oak Ridge definitely more known for its baseball than its basketball.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Sophomore on JV, and then fast forward a bunch of years later, drafted to the MLB. It's just
Sounds
I
like
had
a
goes
Tommy
into
Ball
the work
story.
ethic. Yeah.
my sophomore year. I had like all these crazy colleges coming out to my JV baseball games while varsity was playing on the other field.
Nuts. That is so
It's
nuts.
insane.
I love that.
Hilarious.
I like it.
That's
I think we-
amazing.
I think we all can relate to the sophomore and JV vibes.
Yeah.
There
100%.
Yeah,
wasn't
it is the
another
best.
option when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah. But Pete, kind of talk about the jump from travel ball, high school, Oak Ridge baseball to one of the best baseball programs in the world in Texas. What was that? So it had to be weird during COVID too. Like, was it kind of like a wake up call for you? Like, dang, this is it, or were you ready for that?
I mean, I played baseball at a high level, like when I was talking with NorCal. So I mean, I definitely was around guys that were super talented and in that way on the national level that I kind of knew where I needed to be successful. And it's always easier when you're surrounded by the other people that are really good at what they do. It definitely kind of reflects on you. But I would say, yeah, I mean, my freshman year getting in there. Actually, so the summer before my freshman year, I played in a collegiate summer league for baseball. So I hadn't gotten to campus yet, but I played against other college kids in like a summer ball league. It was like all wood bats. So I got to face a little bit of like the college hitters, and the game was definitely a little bit faster. I mean, as you know, like going from high school to college, it definitely speeds a little bit. Everyone's a little bit better, but I kind of realized that I could compete at that level. I was finding success, and I was pitching really well, and then fast forward to the fall, I had a really great fall. I was in contention for a starter spot 'cause there's three starters on the weekend. Um, honestly, for me at this time, like I had no goals. Like I was just kind of in there trying to just do the best I can. And, I wasn't really putting any pressure on myself, like kind of going into it, like this is the best baseball program. I got to be this guy. It was more just, I was kind of heading in there with my head down, just, ready to get to work and, trying to outwork the guy next to me. I mean, that's really all you can do when you're in the moment is be in the moment. So that's something like when I first showed up, it was, I'm gonna put in this work and, the chips are going to fall as they may. So, definitely when the season got cut short, I was having a really good freshman year. Definitely sucked just because, just a lot of those guys I was never going to get to play again with. And I thought we had a really good team. So, I mean, of course, it was a shocker to everybody. I mean, nobody expected that to happen. It was such a crazy day, but, I think we got a lot better than next year. And it was fun to be around a lot of the same guys and, kind of compete with those guys every day. And obviously we had a lot of success.
On a side note, what was that? I wasn't in college yet. I know Luke can maybe give his story about what was that day like for you when it all got shut down.
Dude, I mean, it felt like zombies were taking over. It was just something. It was the first time in my life where it was something that you couldn't really control. It was something that was just on a global scale, just like out of control. Nobody knew what was going on. You know what I mean? It was just such a weird time. And I mean, obviously, you guys know before Kobe passed away, and he actually was a really another family that was in the helicopter was a really close family friend of my head coaches. And he was a local JUCO baseball coach in California, and one of my teammates had played for him. So kind of when that happened, it was a tough time for everybody. I'm sure you guys know, but that was like a shock to everybody, and the team was kind of in a weird place. And then I mean, a month later, it was kind of the same feeling of just like what is going on. And I remember being out in the outfield. We played that Tuesday, and that was I think when the NBA canceled their season, and like it was like the last time they're saying like we're gonna take a 2 week hiatus. Like it was kind of like the last time with fans for a while, and we really didn't know it. And then I think it was that Thursday, kind of when everything started shutting down, we were like taking BP on the field, and my coach had his phone, and he's like, they just canceled the College World Series. It's done. Like they're not having it this year." And that was just kind of a moment where I was just like what? Like how can they just cancel it? Like we're 2 months away. Like how do they know? Whatever. And I went up to a couple of my teammates and I was like, "Coach just told me that they canceled the College World Series," because nobody really knew. We were out in the field, and I remember one of my teammates looked at me. It was like senior year. He's like, "You tell me my season's over. Like it's done. Like what are we playing for, pretty much?" And it's like I couldn't give him an answer. It was just, I mean, it was such a weird time for everything. I'm sure. I mean, Tommy, it was your senior year. I'm sure that was like
Yeah.
crazy and a bummer. You guys didn't get to do a lot of the cool senior stuff.
My last day of high school was my senior ditch day.
No way, that was senior ditch day.
Yeah, we did like an early one because Oak
That's
Ridge tried to make like the ASB tried to announce when it was, and like we did our own one, and it was that
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
It was March 14th, 13th, whatever it was. I didn't go to
You
school.
got out of there early.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
you
that's
were in the Big Sky
hilarious.
tournament, right, Luke? Right, Luke?
Yeah, what are you insinuating right now, Tom?
I'm not insinuating
Are you
anything.
trying to hint at an Idaho State win over there? Is that what's going on?
Oh,
We
You
had
know, I actually forgot.
Yeah, we had just lost to the Bengals, and me and Dr. A we were at dinner in Boise, and like we were watching the NBA games as the players were getting pulled off the court, and like, I mean, you two know my dad, but like he was like, yeah, it's about to be bad. Like he saw the writing on the wall, and then we were hoping for a bid to one of the postseason tournaments, like the CBI or the CIT, and then those all got canceled. So basically, they just shipped us home, and
I
we all
was
know
I
the
was
rest.
I was in Milwaukee with DJ, getting ready to go to the Thursday night game, Celtics and Bucks.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then he called me. Well, I was with him obviously, but yeah, called and they were like, "Yeah, game's not gonna happen."
Yeah, I think that's one of those moments where like we all can remember exactly where we were when that happened. Like at least for like athletes, where when the NBA got called off. Like I was in the El Dorado Hills Sports Club, and I saw on the TVs in there, Pete, it was like NBA canceling the season. I'm like, what? Like I'm like looking around the gym. I'm like looking around the gym. Like, are we about to get kicked out? Like, what?
yeah, I can't come hoop like.
So
That
nuts.
Pete, you'll appreciate this. So this is off base, but since you're an EDH guy, So when COVID hit, the gym that I train out of obviously shut down. All the indoor facilities shut down. I started training outside
Nice.
at parks. I had trained a bunch of kids in El Dorado Hills. I was at the CDC at the basketball court
CSD,
or
CSD.
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 Yeah, CSD. Sorry. I was outside on the court in the middle of training this kid, and one of the city like park people came over, literally drilled the rim off the hoop I was training on, and took it and was like, it was like, yeah, you guys can't be here. Like I was like, it's just me and this one kid, and like we each had our own basketball. We were far away, outside. It was like a sunny day, and like dude literally came and drilled the rims off and took the rims with him.
I mean, yeah, that's the stuff that doesn't make sense. You're outside, like, come on. I mean, that kind of stuff was ridiculous.
Yeah,
They
that was
boarded up
yeah,
Handy
boarded up
Family
the-
Park. Boom! Right. One
Yeah.
day I was out there shooting. Next day I came back. Nope. I said, okay. You know what?
They put the 2x4 on top.
Yeah, they would like put the thing
The
over
f-
the
the
rim
flat
so you
two
couldn't
by fours,
shoot 'em.
yeah.
That was
Well,
so
I mean,
cool.
California is a lot different than Texas, and that's
Yeah,
where
I was
I
gonna
was.
say
I was in Texas and Florida. I mean, it
you
was
guys
pretty
probably
wide
took a
open
practice.
still. It didn't really even shut down, honestly.
Arizona, same way.
I was about to say that's exactly how Arizona.
Hashtag unmask Arizona.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
insane. There's a lot of that's a whole different set of stories, to be honest. But I
Yeah.
actually do have a COVID question. It's got to be a different feeling, like being on the mound in an empty stadium for COVID versus like I'm assuming what a booming stadium would be like. Like what's the difference in mindset and experience during that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's you definitely hear your opponent a lot more, so it's definitely easier to talk shit, and I definitely took advantage of that while I was playing, letting the other guy know for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was Texas. We have like a stadium that sits, I think like 6,000 maybe, and it was empty. I mean, we could only have like family pretty much come, and it was like select tickets for fans. And what they would do, I'm sure you saw with the MLB, they just put like fan pictures up in most of the seats. So
Yeah.
it was definitely weird kind of having that around, but I think it definitely embodied more of like the team feel, just because it was like that's kind of all that's there, and you're kind of just out there competing with your brothers. So I think like at the end of the year when it opened up and we went to Omaha and it was packed, it I don't think it changed for us as you might think it would. I think it was still, so we're just so used to playing with each other, and it kind of just being about one another that it just kind of carried over.
Yeah, that's dope. Did they do like fake crowd noise and stuff at all in the stadium or no?
Nah, not really. It's not like basketball in that way.
Yeah,
Like it's pretty
no,
quiet. It's super quiet, honestly.
because I remember we opened up against Arizona the first game of the COVID year, and I felt like they were still toying with the stadium noise because it was so loud. Like in McHale is loud in general. Like I've played there on opening night on like a normal year, but like it was louder than it was when fans were there. Like we couldn't even talk to each other. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like they're
It's
doing way
ridiculous.
too much with it.
Yeah, that stuff's ridiculous. They're doing like that in the NFL too and stuff like that. I mean, it's insane.
I forgot about the pumping in the fan noise. Yeah, that was a weird time. That was my first year of college sports too. So that was
Yeah.
just
That's probably trippy.
yeah. I mean, when I got to school, Idaho was obviously a little less than like California, but I mean, we didn't work out with a coach. I got there in June. We didn't work out with a coach till July 25th, and I was there for a whole entire month, just like all these new guys that, and we all know how it is with college sports, just all these random new guys that the coaches picked to be there, and I had to become best friends with them under super weird circumstances, wearing masks all the time and not being able to hang out in more than
Yeah.
groups of 3.
I mean, your grade got screwed with the COVID eligibility and stuff though too. Because I mean, I played that COVID year, and the next year I came back, and it was my freshman year again, and we had a whole new crop of 10 new freshmen come in. So I mean, it was just that much more competitive for
Yeah,
those guys.
I was able to get another year of eligibility from that year, so
Nice.
that was good. Luke was too. That's why Luke's still going.
Yeah, Luke's old. Tommy's gonna be old.
Yep. So Luke,
Yeah.
when he graduated from NAU, he still had 2 more years left, and now he's hooping at UOP Pacific.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Old man. Gotta get every last minute out of it I can, you know?
Oh yeah.
Right, that beard too.
Okay.
Looking real nice.
Yeah, I know. I just lined it up today just for the recording, actually, you know.
I just shaved mine off. I was actually rocking a beard the past couple, like probably the last month, but for November, but I just shaved it off today.
You had a
I heard-
beard? I have never
I heard-
seen you with a beard.
I heard Tommy did too, actually.
I'll send you some
I
pics.
did,
I was rocking it.
I had
was rocking it.
whatever you can call whatever I had. I wouldn't say it was a beard, but it's coming back in right now. Just
I was
fresh
gonna
off
say-
the road trip. So
You
I
had
think I can
you had
see a
whatever you had going
couple hairs in your face.
over
yeah,
the summer.
yeah.
It was
Tommy's
there.
been growing those since senior year.
Yeah,
Since
Tom.
COVID happened.
All right, Jared,
You'll find
you're
a way.
done.
So Pete, you kind of mentioned earlier, you're in Arizona, Scottsdale right now, which is obviously a big time place for baseball off season. Obviously we're all basketball players. I never played baseball. What does like off season workouts and training and all that look like? Because obviously you can't go. I mean, maybe you guys do like go play pickup baseball, whereas like basketball players in the off season go play pickup basketball. And also you being a pitcher, there's obviously a certain number of or a certain level of stress you can put on your arm and stuff like that. So how does all that work?
Yeah, so I'm actually like in the middle of starting up a throwing program right now. It's like a 2-3 month thing kind of to build up to throwing off and like getting ready to be game ready. So I mean that's kind of what the off season is. Like, that I mean that's the dilemma of being a pitcher, and that's the tough part about it is you can only do so much on the mound. Like I can't just go in the gym and just fix my jump shot just by shooting over and over again. It's like I only get a certain amount of bullets pretty much every day, and then there's recovery on top of that. So I mean it's tough in that way just because you can't get on the mound and throw every day and practice that kind of stuff. So you got to be smart about it for sure. But um, yeah, I mean, so the off season, it's pretty much the same for most guys. I think the season ends around like early September, and then kind of the months after that, you probably take like 2 months off, and then you start your throwing progression to get it back going. But it's definitely a little bit different for pitchers than hitters, just because we have the whole throwing thing. But I mean, you're lifting the whole time. It's just a bunch of weightlifting. That's one of my favorite quotes. Someone said it was, I'm a part-time baseball player, full-time weightlifter. I mean that's kind of really what it is.
Dude, that's got to be so stressful. If you told me like every day in the off season, hey, you only get to go in the gym and shoot 75 shots.
Yeah.
That would have I would have lost my mind. Like especially when
exactly.
you're like trying to perfect something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the tough part about it. I mean, that's why your catch play is so important, just because it's not super strenuous on your arm, but it's definitely the time to get it right. But you're only allotted a certain amount of throws you can kind of do.
That's crazy.
Do you get to pick like I know also like in baseball, the relationship you have with your catcher and stuff is important. Do you guys coordinate with like the catcher that's gonna catch like for you when you play in the games? Like moving forward, you guys work out together, or is it kind of like everybody's on their own shit and stuff?
Relationship that day, but I mean, it's kind of where they're on to the next guy, like that. But I was fortunate to have a guy come in, our catcher Silas. He came in the same year I did, so we became super close, and we were at Texas the same time together. So I kind of had a great relationship with my catcher, and I knew he was catching me every single time I was going out there.
Cool.
I don't know, are there any more baseball related questions? Because I kind of want to
Go
take
ahead,
a turn
man.
here.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, how was the first like post after getting drafted? Like, what was all that like with first time being in like the big leagues? Like, what was that like before Luke switches us up? Because that's every kid's dream. Like, what was that? We didn't even talk about that yet. Like, you got drafted. Like, that's what you've been dreaming about since you were an Oak Meadow Raptor. Like, that had to be the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely a dream come true, and I'm very blessed to be in this situation. But I still have a long way to go to get to the big leagues. So it's definitely a journey in itself. So I mean, yeah, just getting drafted was really cool. I mean, it's something that you kind of been working for a while, but as you guys know, it really doesn't. It's really awesome, but there's so much more you kind of have to do. I mean, like they say, like the work's just getting started in that way. So, it's fun today, but then tomorrow happens, and you got to get ready. I mean, it's you're a professional now in that way, and the talent just gets that much better.
For sure.
Dude, is it an automatic that they force you to rookie ball? Like you don't have any based on where you're drafted, all that stuff. Like that doesn't determine anything. You have to go to rookie ball first.
Yeah, I mean, so they usually, I mean, a lot of organizations are different, but the standard practice is you start at the bottom level and you kind of work your way up. But I mean, the main thing is like the prospect list. Like each team has 30 prospects that are ranked or rated. They're top 30. So you kind of want to be on that list and work your way up that. And I think you got to kind of have the perspective of it doesn't really matter where you are. It's just got to play good and just always trying to get to the big leagues. But I mean, just trying to be successful wherever you are. Wherever that may be, whatever team you're on.
Awesome. All right, Luke, what you got, man?
Let
So-
the ammo fly.
Yeah, so Pete, my man, I like to really dive into the relationships between our guests and our hosts, so our listeners can get to know each other a lot better. So when Rachel, a former Trojan, came on, she talked about how she saved Tommy's life one time, and I just wanted to ask you if there's any specific Tommy stories that come to mind, that would be great for not only me and Jared to hear, but for the listeners to hear.
Pete
Dude, I don't
does know
know,
Rachel.
honestly. I mean, there was definitely times when, like I said earlier, when me and Drake were going at it. There was times when Tommy and Drake were going at it. I mean, there was that whole dilemma, the triangle between us. I mean, me and Tommy definitely had our moments as well, but I don't think there were ever any punches thrown from Tommy though. With you and me, with you and me, with Drake maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
We want to hear your best Tommy story, Pete. Stop beating around the bush. We got to have a
I don't
good,
know. I don't
funny
know,
Tommy
dude.
story.
Honestly, I don't. Honestly, Tommy,
It-
you got any on
I
me?
think. I mean,
It's going to be hard to top Rachel. She saved Tommy's life because he
Yeah.
can't swim. So.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm already starting
yeah,
that.
I think the core, like a core association memory I have with Peter was when we pulled that. Were you there when we pulled the all-nighter?
Probably.
Yeah, dude, I don't like we. This was early middle school day. Like we were really mobbing crazy. Where was that? Where was that one?
Mobbing crazy.
Can I get a direct quote on that? Has that ever been used?
We were
In El Dorado Hills?
mobbing crazy.
Ma'am, I caught your son mobbing crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Ball.
We went to the ice cream shop out in Sac. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah. I remember
Farrell's
that.
or it's
Oh,
actually.
you went to O'Farrell's.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
pull up my
Yeah, in
Instagram
art.
right now because I don't delete my Instagram pictures. So if you go to
We gotta
Instagram,
work on that.
Tommy,
no,
how far back we going, man? We are on a timeline here.
Yeah, that's
November
crazy.
21st, 2014.
Man,
Peter is
Just
in
missed
that
the
picture.
anniversary.
It's actually my first picture on Instagram. It's still up.
Dang, how can you see that?
I don't
And your
post that.
second picture is Cameron Salerno,
No.
right? Oh, I thought that was
Yeah, no, far from. I don't have a picture of him. Shout out to Cameron.
nice try, Jay.
No, remember, didn't we talk about that in the episode?
Oh
with
no,
Cam?
that was I was on his media
Oh,
page
okay, my bad.
when I committed to Idaho State. No, but we just Pete hit on it earlier with the dunk ball. That was the life.
I mean, yeah, we were just trying to do any crazy dunks you can. I mean, I just remember Tommy just throwing oops, and I mean that was probably some of the highlights of my life. Just feeling like you're 10 feet tall, just throwing down on a rim. There's honestly no better feeling than that.
I can actually tell you guys one fun fact about Peter's basketball game was, I think you ended up fixing it, but for the longest time, Jared's gonna freak. Pete would actually have front spin
No.
Yeah,
man.
on his jump shot.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I've
Forgot
seen it
about
all.
that. Forgot about that.
That was like one
Oh,
thing I'd never forget. Like and you weren't even a bad shooter either, but it
no, I could put it in. There's just gonna be a question how I was gonna get there.
that was so crazy.
I forgot about that, Tommy. Thank you for bringing that up. Wow.
That was
Yeah.
like the
Well, it wasn't broke. It was going in, so I didn't want to change it, and I
Yeah,
was
he
scared.
said he
But
was giving you buckets, Tom, with the front spin.
I was more worried about
he
yamming
was
on
he was
Tommy's
really a
head.
hooper.
That's really all I was about. I wasn't a shooter. I was I was throwing down oops on Tommy.
Notice how Jared can't say a word right now.
I know. What I've realized is that this just is an attestament to what I've said earlier, and it's probably making me second guess some of my interactions with the people in my life.
Bro,
Because this is not
Oh,
how it
God.
goes when we have Jared stories.
no, it's okay. Well, you're gonna like this. The follow up question. So me and Jared have this notion that Tommy is Mr. Oak Ridge. You know, the most
Yes.
favorite Trojan, Mr. El Dorado Hills. Is this true? Is this true?
I didn't get to see Tommy his senior year, so I didn't get to see all that. But I will say he was by far the most popular junior I like around. I
Look
mean,
at that,
all the teachers
Tom.
loved him. You know, like
Boom.
my dad was a campus monitor. He loved Tommy. I mean, he's the man. I mean, it's
You can't run from
Yeah.
it, Tom. Mr. El
Yeah.
Dorado Hills, now Mr. Pocatello. What's next
Yeah,
for the kid?
and the
You don't
and
know.
the wins make sense now.
We're done having people from Oak Ridge on, man.
Are we though? Because I think we just need to continue to push this narrative. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it's like 75% of people that listen to this, those are our guests.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. We do have a good support system from
Sorry.
the 916.
we
Yeah,
gotta
pride,
start
baby.
somewhere.
You're the
Charging
only one that's
pride.
running from it, Tom. The rest of us have accepted it and embraced it for you.
Because that's
Gotta
just
start somewhere.
Yeah,
I had a great time in high school, man. It was a fun time, but
as you should have.
Look at him.
we're
Look
leaving
at-
it
yeah.
behind. We're leaving it behind. The
Oh,
memories
Amen.
are there.
In such Stranger Things fashion.
Oh my gosh. All right, dude. Shall we get into our starting fives, or do we have anything else to hit on?
Tom,
ready.
wait, I have.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Nope.
No,
Nope. Keep it moving.
Wow. Okay.
probably had his artists messed up again.
No, that's not it. I was gonna ask Pete a basketball question about playing with Tommy, but they're not the same age. So
Yeah, did we? I don't think we ever actually. Maybe a few times, Pete, but
no, I'm
I
talking
don't- I
about
don't
the same
think they're
on the
on the
same
same
team.
team.
Yeah,
that's what
Oak
I'm
Ridge.
saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I'm saying, maybe in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, summer ball probably. Yeah,
Yeah, but we
Did-
never.
Did you ever see Tommy shoot a floater when you guys played?
100%.
Left-handed.
What?
Right?
No,
Uh,
Tommy
Does
has the
Tommy
worst.
not shoot floaters?
He has the worst floater in college
Not
basketball.
successful.
I'm not gonna lie to
It's
you.
I
actually,
didn't say I saw it go in, but I've definitely seen him try it.
it's actually been real money lately.
This is
I've
the
been in
energy we're
lab.
looking for.
No, I've been in the lab.
I need the clips.
It's been money lately.
Show me the clips. All I know is that I see a lot of bottom
selfie
of.
video.
I will. No, I'm gonna set it up tomorrow. I got you.
Oh yeah, let's do this starting five.
Starting five. So we're gonna Pete, obviously starting pitcher for Texas. So pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna hit our starting five pitchers, and we said
MLB
all.
pitchers.
We said all
Right.
time. Yeah, we said
All
all
time.
time. But
Good.
Pete knows the rundown. You gave him the scout
I
here.
gave him the rundown. I said I gave him the point guard, shooting guard, go from there. Who he wanted to line. Pete wanted to go all baseball players, but we had to limit it to
Yeah,
just
we got to keep. Yeah, we got to keep the options open.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
enough
mean,
baseball players.
MJ's a baseball guy too, so I was gonna throw him in there.
Look at him. He was gonna try to sneak it in. That's
I
crazy.
thought, yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna just put in like Mookie Betts, just all the
Yeah,
crazy.
not.
athletes.
I mean, Mookie's an easy answer for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you have any Kings players played baseball? Because if
Yeah.
so, they're going to be in Luke's
Probably.
five.
Those are some versatile athletes over there. Did you see the score right now? Speaking of the Kings,
No, man, I don't care about that.
Like the beam, baby. I'm all about that.
Oh,
I'm
come
all-
on,
Pete.
let's
I
go.
love it. I love it.
Like that beam.
That's
They trademarked the beam team. So I don't want
The most
anyone
electric
throwing
thing
that
in
name
sports
around.
right now.
Pete. You might be
They've lost 3 games
Luke's
in a row.
favorite. You might be Luke's favorite guest right now.
Yeah, I
solely
love it. I
because
love
he
it, man.
just
We
said
could
that.
we could talk beam team for hours.
All right, let's go. Do you want to lead us off, Pete?
Yes, I mean we're doing point guard.
Yeah,
Yep.
starting 5. Yeah.
I'll
Point
do
guard, shooting guard, small forward.
I'm gonna say my boy Tim Lincecum. I'm sure y'all know who that is.
Ah,
He's
great pick. That
the
was-
freak.
legendary Giants pitcher. Grew up watching him a bunch. The freak, great athlete. So I'm gonna have him leading my point. I'd go shooting guard. I'm gonna go throwback. I'm gonna go Bob Gibson. I think he's like 6'3" or something, right around there. But he great all-time pitcher for the Cardinals back in the 70s. So I'd probably say him. Man, in my 3, I'm gonna say probably go Amir Garrett. Actually, yeah, Amir Garrett. He played college basketball for St. John's, so
Oh, wow.
he's a
Dang,
really
good
good pitcher in
knowledge.
the big
That's
leagues right now.
crazy.
He's a current guy, so that's
knowledge.
my 3. I'll go 4. I'll go Sandy Alcantara. He just won the Cy Young. Like I think he's probably like 6'6", right around there. So
Good
probably
pick.
gonna have him running my 4. Good athlete too. And then 5, I'm gonna go the big unit, Randy Johnson. I think he's like north is 6'9", gotta be, but he's the big unit. He's gonna be my 5. He's gonna be getting all the boards and dishing it out for Bob and Timmy to hit some shots.
It's a good 5, man. It's a good 5.
That's a great 5. I love it. I'll go ahead and go. So obviously,
Go ahead, Mr. Trojan. Let's hear it.
obviously the Giants were huge. So at the 1, I wanted to go Tim, but I don't want to keep the list the same. I'm gonna go Tim's counterpart, not Mad Bum, but Matt Cain. Matt
Wow,
Cain.
stud.
Matt Cain actually threw a no-hitter.
Oh, this guy Luke is sick.
Matt Cain actually threw a no-hit. The perfect game. It was his perfect game against the Astros. I'll never forget this because I loved going to Giants games when I was younger. He threw his perfect game the day before I went to a game, which was on my birthday. So I was pretty pissed off about that. At the 2, I've got legendary pitcher just holding down the backcourt, Felix Hernandez,
Wow.
Nice.
Seattle Mariners. At the 3,
He's kind of a bigger boy though, huh?
he is
I
a
don't
bigger
know.
boy, but I feel like he's just got a burner for some reason. I feel
Watch
like
who's
he's just
cooking
gonna
you.
yeah. At the 3, I've got booming star right now, absolute athlete, Shohei Ohtani. Getting it
Oh,
done.
that's a good one.
At the 4, I've got to go Randy Johnson because that's a no-brainer. And then at the 5, I'm going just big inside. He's gonna hold down the paint. Give me CC Sabathia.
This
CC
is ridiculous,
Sebastian.
bro.
I
I
knew
should
you
have
were
gone
going
before
CC.
Tom.
Yeah, you should have gone before Tom, Luke.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Luke's
I'm so sick. I'm so sick. I gotta make some adjustments here.
Let's let Jared go. Let's let Jared go.
No, I'm ready.
No, he doesn't want me to go because I guarantee I'm going to take somebody else. He's going to say.
So, oh man, this is so tragic.
These ones are tough. These ones are tough for us because we're basketball players. So this
No,
is
this is.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
we
we-
should have just done all the baseball guys. It's way
I
easier.
mean, I didn't
No,
think
this
that we
is
were
great.
just
I
gonna pick
love
off
to watch.
players
No,
like
I
this,
would,
but-
I love to watch Luke like get frustrated here.
you should
No,
have seen.
I'm not frustrated.
We had one of Luke's teammates on. He's a big time gamer, and so we went video game characters, and I went last. And these dudes just swooped every single video game character.
Tom had a terrible list that week.
It was tough. I ended up going with our Pete and I used to play MW2 back in the day. I went with Soap McTavish.
No,
He was
this
on
guy
there.
Tom had 4 Super Mario characters in his 5.
Yeah, I did. It was bad.
All right, come on, Luke. Let's hear it.
So, originally I had Tim Lincecum as my point guard. We're gonna make a switch. We're gonna go.
Everybody
with
had
someone-
him there. So did I.
Yeah,
but he's
exactly.
because he's
So
short.
fine.
It's like-
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna make a switch. We're gonna go ahead and put someone who I believe is dealing in the league right now. We're gonna put Clayton Kershaw at the 1. I feel like it's a big
Yes,
name.
sir.
He's gonna head our team.
I feel like that's kind of a you can't do that if you're a Giants fan.
I'm not a Giants fan. When have I?
Okay, that's right.
And I come from a
I didn't-
Giants house, but I'm not really.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm not really. I don't really follow baseball to be honest, but
You're a River Cats guy. It's all right.
Yeah, Rivercats guy. There we go.
Stockton Forest, actually.
Sack through and through.
It's true.
right, who
At the
got the
2,
2,
and
man?
this is crazy. It's surprising this hasn't been named yet. I need someone who in the 4th quarter I know is going to win the game for me. I want Mariano Rivera at the 2. I don't
Yeah.
know why this hasn't been taken, but
I like it,
that's
I like it.
my
That's
two
why.
guard.
Hey, if I would have gone first, would you even put your 5 out?
What you mean?
I would have taken that from you.
Yeah. Mariano Rivera at the 2 for obvious reasons. At the 3, yeah, I do have Shohei Ohtani here. You know, for reasons obvious. You need a good 2-way player at the 3, someone who's gonna play offensive defense for me. You know, so boom, Shohei Ohtani. At the 4, we're gonna make another audible because I don't want the Randy Johnson pick to be in everyone's list. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Mad Bum at the 4 here now. I think it's an audible that I'm good with that. This is a guy when I was following baseball, he was definitely dealing up there. And then at the 5, I got to keep CC Sabathia at the 5. I think that's a no-brainer. I like that pick a lot.
Oh, that's
somebody keep it there.
Sure.
You know what? None of you should be able to pick CC because CC didn't go to any of your high school games. Went to my high school games.
Wow.
Who cares? Literally nobody cares.
That's all I'm saying.
That has nothing to do.
Why
with
was CC Sabathia at a Vacaville high school game?
Because Vallejo used to be in our league and DeMarcus Nelson played at Vallejo.
Okay.
So he used to come to the games. Anyways, I'll go backwards because I do have CC 707 product, unlike the rest of the people in this.
It doesn't give you power
Pod.
to pick him at the center than
6.
anyone else.
Yeah,
That's-
9-1. You're outnumbered, Jared.
I'm just but I like Rev and Luke up right now. This is fun.
6-side tings. You hear me?
Yeah. Okay, so I got CC at the center. I had to make some changes too. At the power forward, not the biggest guy, but he can really switch it up. Throws a knuckle. Give me Tim Wakefield,
Wow.
power forward.
Wow. I thought you were gonna say R.A. Dickey.
All right, Dickie is the man too.
Yeah.
Now, this one, I cannot believe that someone didn't say this one. And when it comes to a dogfight, this guy's always going to have my back. He's a true teammate. Even if he's going to throw an 80-year-old guy on the ground, give me Pedro, small forward.
Yeah.
Pedro Martinez.
Nice.
Here we go, Jared.
Okay, now, this guy, Cy Young winner, World Series champion, shot the greatest shot of all time. Bagged Kate Upton. Give me Justin Verlander.
Guy's
the shooting guard.
Bro's picking his players for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I want Justin Verlander at my 2 because you got Kate Upton.
Oh.
That's funny.
At the point guard, Luke already said it, but you got to take him. He invented a position in the closer. Give me Mariano Rivera because I want the ball in his hands when the game's on the line.
I respect it. All right, I gotta say now that I've heard all y'all's 5s, we name dropped him earlier. Where's Matt Manning? I thought that was the guy. I thought this.
No,
he's
I
an
haven't
MLB
watched him.
pitcher.
Matt Manning would have been a great walk-on pick for you, Jared. Is that who your walk-on pick is?
No, my walk-on pick is going to be super cool though.
All right, go
All
for
right,
it.
go ahead, Jared. We'll go back.
So in case we need a little bit of extra size down low, we need a little bit of, just like real solid. I know I can count on him for 20 years. Give me it's my Udonis Haslam. Give me Bartolo Colon.
Nice.
You're welcome,
That's a
Zach.
great pick. That's a
Allie,
great pick.
I know Allie and Zach are listening. I just gave the Heat a shout out.
Yeah.
Udonis Haslam of my team. Bartolo
Udonis Haslam got minutes today. Got
He
absolutely
just got
cooked.
50 balled by JT.
Yeah, got absolutely cooked by JT.
All right, go
Oh,
ahead.
it's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my walk-on pick is a guy, like I said, when I was, following the Giants during their rise in my middle school years. This was a guy that people really rallied behind in I believe it was the first championship. Give me Brian Wilson as my
Yeah.
walk-on pick.
I like it.
Good
I
pick.
love that. I love that. And I'm gonna take a step. We can say up or down, but I'm gonna say my walk-on pick was the successor to Brian Wilson, one of the dirtiest sliders in the game. Give me Sergio Romo.
I like that pick.
My walk on, I'm gonna go with. He's not the biggest guy, but he knows how to get in a big city and make some noise. And I think he was an all-star this year. Doesn't get a lot of love, but he's gonna come and find success. I'm gonna go Nestor Cortez from the Yankees. He's gonna come out there and he's gonna foul if I need him to, and he's gonna mix it up and he's gonna hit his shot. So that's my guy.
That's just perfect for the criteria of the walk-on pick. You nailed it. I love it. He's got some solid 5s, man.
Also, Kings just won 137 to 114. So
Jesus,
go ahead and look at that beam tonight, man.
Who are they playing?
The Pacers.
Oh God.
That's a big win. That's a big win.
Oh,
The trade implications on that.
Yeah. Lot of writing that didn't have to do with anything basketball related on the wall.
A lot of bad teams beating other bad teams.
Bro, can you relax? What's the Warriors record right now?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
Ah. The beam is lit in the 916.
I actually can see the beam from my house, if that makes you feel better.
Lucky you, man. Man, I wish I could. I'm
man.
gonna come chill with you tonight.
Before we wrap things up here, Pete, we've got a running thing that we like to talk about when we finish the episode up that Jared loves to talk about. I need to ask, are you a golfer at all, Pete? Do you ever dabble in the golf world?
I have played a little bit of golf in my time, yes.
Yeah, most baseball guys love golf. And you're in Scottsdale, some of the best golf courses.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the great thing is, Pete, is like you don't even have to leave the comforts of your apartment or your luxury suite, wherever you're at. You just had to get your little wedge out there, 50 chips a night. It's going to get you right. So after you get your pinch count done, get your 50 chips done, be a great night.
Amen.
This guy doesn't miss.
This guy never misses. It's a different delivery every single week. And we might as well tell Pete while we're at it. We've got a 2v2 scramble scheduled on the calendar for when we're all back in town. Pete, it's me and Luke versus Jared and Marquise Chris. And I'm an awful golfer, but Luke is very good. So
Yeah.
we're on best ball, and Jared is convinced that they're gonna win, but
yeah, we do have some update on that. Golf with Keese on Saturday. He said he's gonna have to see some rule books on this, and we're gonna have to discuss specifics.
Whoa. Meaning what? You guys want strokes already or what?
No, meaning that if like we have to trade off shots. I think it was a great point.
No, see, that's no. That's not a scramble.
best ball. That's not a scramble.
If we're saying I'm the best golfer out of the four, Tommy's the worst. Put one and four
But
together, and then
Tommy is far worse than me and Keese.
Okay.
Exactly.
So basically, what he's saying, Tommy, is I'm far better than him and Keese.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
That's what
that
I'm
Tommy needs to pull his weight at some point. You can't
I
just
will.
live off of your ball.
I will.
Yeah,
When
that's
I hit
how
a big-
scramble works.
When I hit a big shot, you're gonna be mad.
Okay.
If anything,
We
you
know
guys
it.
are at an advantage. It's 2 against 1, and if that's the way you want to, like,
But so you're saying that you can take your shot every time, no matter what.
if it's better than Tommy's, yeah, it's a scramble. That's the
So
way it
Tommy
works.
is pointless.
You want to
might
play
as well just-
alternate shot? That's
you-
ridiculous. That's
you
way
might-
more difficult.
You might as well have Tommy just film it. Tommy, you can be the
Sounds
vlog
to
guy.
me. It sounds to me like he's
Excuses already.
was
bro.
a
It's
little
ridiculous.
I'm
nervous.
fine.
It sounds to me
Jared
like
went up there and was
Keith
like,
was a
"Yeah,
little
Luke's
nervous.
been dealing. Like this guy's been in the lab, all of this, and now
I definitely
and so
not
he was
didn't
like,
say
yeah,
that.
I think we need to do alternate shot because
Okay.
all right.
No, he just knows the same thing I know, that Tommy needs to be held accountable to a
I will
point.
be held accountable.
if he's holding the trophy up at the end of the day.
So you're telling me, Luke, that there's going to be a shot that Tommy hits better than yours?
I mean,
very well could be.
I wouldn't count on it, but it's
More cracks.
It's nice to know that
Cracks.
he's there.
Cracks. are
That's not a
coming in.
crack. He knows that. He knows that I
Pete-
don't expect him to
Pete
hit
knows.
shots.
Pete knows that I rose up to big occasions in the El Dorado Hills Sports Club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's coming out on the golf field as well.
He might hit a
The
putt.
golf
He might
field.
hit a putt.
Did you just
But
hear what he
Jared-
said? The golf field.
Jared, he's gonna hit the
The
first
golf
putt every
course.
single time. So I'm gonna get a read from him, and then like that's gonna help, right? He's gonna be in my ear, giving me confidence, making sure I'm comfortable on the course, in the tee box, whatever it is. He's just gonna have me in the right mental space. That's
Can
more of
we-
a teammate than I can ask for.
The bottom line. Okay, don't go there. Right.
All right, we're done. Let's move on. Let's move on.
The bottom line is that Tommy needs to pull some weight. And I agree with Keith in that.
Okay, and I'm going to.
All right, bro. He'll make my lunch or something.
See, look, there we go.
There's
Tommy,
no
good
cracks.
job.
There's no cracks.
Tommy, good
Yeah,
job,
not
man.
at all.
Hey, Luke likes extra Dijon.
Yeah,
a
that's a
sandwich.
great call. That's how you know. Jared knows me.
Anyways, Pete, appreciate you so much for coming on here tonight. It's been a
Yeah, hell
super
yeah.
fun
Thank you
call.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Glad we could this you're our first baseball player we've had on, so you tap into the mindset of goes into baseball. It's it's pretty interesting compared to basketball stuff. So I'm glad we could do this.
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks for having me again.
Now I'll have a reason to go back to baseball games when I see you out here playing
Yeah.
Giants.
Hell yeah.
Punking them back in San Francisco. But appreciate Pete. Everybody that's listening in, always thankful for you guys. It's been episode 19, so we're keeping them pushing. So as always, these are your favorite walk-ons, and we're walking out.